sweet spot. I'm feeling good. The sun is shining. I knew it would. The world's a playground. I'm in the clouds. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Just check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Just check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out.
And here we are inside Pegula Ice Arena, the 10th year of this great building. It's hard to believe, but a hockey season is here. And what a great matchup we have for you tonight as the third-ranked Wisconsin Badgers visit the 14th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions to kick off another season of women's hockey. Brian Tripp, thrilled to be with you here tonight for our Penn State women's hockey pregame show. As you can see, the teams will take the ice in just a moment here at this beautiful venue. Penn State picked first in the CHA preseason poll. Jeff Campersall goes into his 7th season as the head coach. A very talented team taking on a team that won the 2019 and 2021 national championships. Always loaded, those Wisconsin Badgers. That is our matchup tonight, and we'll preview that matchup and get you on the ice as the team takes the ice here on our women's hockey pregame show. But what better way to kick off a new season than to welcome in one of the all-time greats in the sport. U.S. Olympian Kendall Coyne-Schofield is joining us live on our pregame show tonight, joining us from Chicago. She was here at the end of the year last year. Kendall and I called the Women's Frozen Four for Westwood One on national radio. And Kendall, it's great to see you. How are you doing?
Great to see you too, Brian. It feels like just yesterday we were sitting right behind you in that booth calling the game on radio for the first time, national radio for the Women's Frozen Four. It's great to see you, and thanks for having me.
No, really appreciate the time. And another season kicks off for Penn State and Wisconsin tonight. And I thought one of the great things last year in the Frozen Four, Ohio State won its first national championship. Yale made its first ever appearance in the Frozen Four. You're really seeing the depth and the parity in the sport grow. Women's hockey continues to grow at a great rate, and that was on display as we wrapped up the season here last year.
And I think it's only going to continue to grow. I think you're seeing, not the typical schools that everyone is used to seeing, in the Frozen Four, but I think it just talks to the growth of women's hockey that we've seen across the world. I think you look at the Women's World Championships, Czechia just got their first ever bronze medal. That was a country who was in the other division that I hadn't seen until these previous Olympic Games. And then for them to put a bronze medal around their neck just speaks to the growth of the game. And I think it goes back to when you put into the right investment, the right resources and support into the game, you see that return. And that's what we're seeing in women's hockey across the world.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, it's not just the college game. Obviously, yourself, your teammate Hillary Knight deserves some credit for that as well. But the growth of the women's game continues to expand outside of college hockey, but on the international level. What steps have your teammates taken? What steps has everyone in women's college hockey made to help grow the game?
Oh, it's huge. I think when you look at across the world, the top players in the world will come to the NCAA for 4 years, and you see that across the rosters. And when you look at some of the greatest players in the international game, whether it's not just from the U.S. and Canada, a lot of those players have played in the NCAA. And I think the North American influence, specifically the American influence in the NCAA, has a huge factor on the international game, because what those players learn during their 4 years of college hockey, they take back to their national programs with them. And I think when you look at the top players, in the world, they rely on the NCAA and their 4 years of college to really develop them to be that transformational time period in their career, not just as an athlete, but as a student and as a human as well.
You obviously had a terrific college career at Northeastern. What did you cherish about the time you spent on campus, and what did you get out of playing college hockey?
If I could go back right this moment, I would. I miss it so much. It's the greatest 4 years of my life. But I think it was everything but hockey that I took away from Northeastern the most. Yes, I love the hockey. It was, that's what I grew up, I wanted to do. That's what I continue to do. But it was the experience that I had outside of the rink, the people I met, my experiential learning credit, doing an internship with Chicago Blackhawks that has led me to my full-time position that I'm in today. just, everything on campus, the city of Boston, going to hockey. I loved Hockey East. There was so much. Coach Flint, one of the greatest coaches I've ever had to this day, but I miss it so much. And it's so fun to be able to join this pregame show because I'm so excited for women's college hockey to get going here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You mentioned your role now as a player development coach with the Chicago Blackhawks, roles in front office, in coaching for women at the NHL level and at other levels of hockey. What has to continue to happen to allow those opportunities to grow and for more of those opportunities to expand for females at all levels of hockey across the game?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I mean, you're sitting in one of the most beautiful buildings in all of sports behind you. And I was in that women's Penn State locker room, and it looked the exact same as the men's locker room. Looking at that weight room, listening to the treatment of the men's and the women's teams, they're exactly the same. It's that type of equality that we need across the board. So when we're talking about my player development job with Chicago Blackhawks, I can't wait until we see that role the exact same way for women's professional hockey, that we're developing the women's professional team just like we do the men's game. And so we have a ways to go, but I think we've made tremendous strides. But I think when you're seeing these women take jobs in the NHL, I can't wait till they can have a choice, whether it's, the NHL or a women's professional league that offers them that same support and resources as those jobs in the NHL do.
You mentioned the resources. You mentioned the facility here at Penn State. I gave you the tour. What impressed you about this building? Why did you enjoy your time here in Hockey Valley?
It was incredible. I mean, this is state of the art. And I think just listening to the players talk, knowing a few of those players and the treatment that they receive, and there's no discrepancy. We're Penn State hockey. It doesn't matter if we're men's hockey or women's hockey. We're Penn State hockey, and I really got that feeling, and just how incredible that building was, and really how incredible the treatment of the Frozen Four was for those players. Obviously, there was a strong equity report that was put out by the NCAA, and there was definitely significant improvements that needed to be made when it came to the sport of hockey and all sports across the board with the NCAA. And so to see those improvements live and in action when I was there with you was great to see. And I think you could see it in the players, the way that they talked about their treatment and their experience at the Frozen Four, and the treatment that Penn State handed to those players. So it was great to be a part of. We got a ways to go, but it was awesome to see.
Well, Kendall, obviously we have a heavy Penn State focus here on this pregame show, but you played with a couple of Badgers, Caroline Harvey and Jessie Comfer. What do they bring to the table for Wisconsin as you have familiarity with them from the U.S. national team?
Well, you're talking on one spectrum to the next. Caroline Harvey is, was supposed to be a freshman last year. She's finally making her college debut, which I'm sure she's super, super excited about. She's waited a long time to put that Badger jersey on. And then Jessie Comfer on the other end is a super, super, super senior, like we saw at the Frozen Four. These players with the COVID year coming off 4 incredible years at Boston University. For Jessie Comfer, look for someone who will win you a timely face-off. She'll compete. She'll be gritty in the corners. And she has a shot. She has a release. For KK Harvey, she'll be one of the smartest players on the ice with the puck, and she has some skills, some hands. So don't be afraid. She won't be afraid to jump in off that blue line and attack the net.
As our fans can obviously see, and as you can probably hear as well, the team is on the ice here for the first time this year. Last question for you, Kendall. No matter what level of hockey you're at, the first time you take the ice for a new season with your teammates, what's the emotion like as you hit the ice?
You're just ear to ear. I'm ear to ear right now for these players. It's, preseason is long. Whether you're freshmen or sophomore, especially those sophomores through juniors who are now seniors, you look forward to this moment from the moment that your season ended last year, getting back on campus. For some of these student athletes, it's been a long few hard years, and whether you just got into school, you preseason, fitness testing, getting acclimated into classes, this is the moment you really look forward to, with putting on that sweater, walking into the locker room for the first time, seeing it all nice and pretty with everyone's jerseys. It becomes real that you're about to represent something bigger than yourself, and that's the university you selected to be a part of.
Kendall, really appreciate you carving out some time for us tonight. Can't wait to see you in Duluth at the end of the season. Thanks again.
Hope to see you then, Brian. Have a great season.
Kendall Coyne-Schofield joining us, U.S. Olympic gold medalist, joining us live tonight from Chicago. As you can tell, the team is on the ice here at Pegula. Moments ago, I had a chance to talk to Maya Vasilek before her team took the ice here tonight, previewing tonight's game. Maya, as your team gets ready to take the ice, all the hard work that went into the off season, how excited are you to have a chance now to showcase that tonight on the ice?
I'm so excited. Like, this off season has been nothing but just like tremendous work, and all the effort we've put in through with KJ in the gym and like Emily in the training room and on ice with Jeff, Kumi, and McKenna. It's just been great.
Why are you so excited about the team that you have?
I think we have so much talent on our team, and like we all have the drive to work so hard, and we want to win like a national championship this year.
Coach, I know, is emphasizing going into tonight, not so much the opponent, but taking care of business yourselves and where you can improve. What are the things that you're emphasizing going into this game?
I think just like one big thing we always talk about is like just working hard, like always have a high F3, like always like just giving the effort. Like no matter what your opponent is, just try your best. That's all you can do at the end of the day.
I know you've been through it for a year now, but it's probably always great to be back on the ice. Butterflies, getting ready for the game?
Oh yeah, for sure. A whole lot of nerves.
Maya, good luck. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
There's goaltender Josie Boffin as warm-ups are underway here tonight at Pegula Ice Arena. Penn State ranked 14th, the USCHO.com preseason poll. Boffin coming off an excellent year last year, 9 shutouts last season, breaking the program record, and 18 wins. She has the net tonight. She goes into her 3rd year wearing the blue and white. As you can see, Penn State and Wisconsin on the ice prior to tonight's matchup. It's coming up at 7 o'clock. You can watch it on Big Ten Plus, and we're thrilled to have you with us here on our exclusive pregame show, and also thrilled here before the game to be joined by Penn State 7th-year head coach Jeff Campersall. Coach, I know you're getting ready for the game tonight, so appreciate you carving out some time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
What was your message to the team before they left the locker room?
We've been working hard on championship habits, like all spring, all summer, all fall, and it's just go out and we've deserved the opportunity to make a statement, not to anybody else but ourselves, and see what we put in and see if it works out for us. And scoreboard is not necessarily like important for us. It's just like trying to be consistent no matter who we play, no matter the jersey colors will change. We just want to go out and represent Penn State and make people around here proud of us.
I know your emphasis is on your own team, as you just talked about. So What are some of the objectives you're looking to meet tonight while you're measuring your own team's performance?
Well, we want a fast start. We want a good F3, stopping on pucks. We generally play like pretty good like D zone, so if we can like pin to win, like if we can pin them and have good breakouts and get our offense going, that'll be good. So just short shifts, just everything that we've spoken about, but to keep it intense, like we have depth, so like we can roll lines and stay on them pretty good.
How important is that depth? What can it do for your hockey team?
Yeah, again, like everybody is valued, they contribute, and so they know that they do their part for 40 seconds. Someone's jumping over the boards to have their back and do their job for 40 minutes.
Obviously a tremendous opponent tonight in Wisconsin. Yeah. It's a challenging schedule. I know you're worried about the puck that's going to drop here in about 30 minutes. Yeah. But what do you hope to learn and gain from this challenging schedule starting tonight?
Yeah, we wanted to schedule the toughest non-league opponents that we could face. Obviously, to start with, Wisconsin was a great program historically, one of the best. So we're trying to measure up and be the next wave of women's hockey, and so we want to see where we stack up against them.
Mention the depth. What else do you like about your team from what you've been able to glean so far through the practices and that scrimmage against RIT?
I just love the compete level and the camaraderie. Like the captains have done a great job. So we have 23 leaders, 23 followers, and everybody's like as a coach now, we're just kind of guiding, but they're running the show, and that makes me proud as a coach.
And I'm sure as a coach, there are a lot of things you feel prepared for tonight, but there's still a lot of things you wish you could get to too before the season starts.
Yes, some things like you don't want to cram too much in there. It's like cramming to study for final exams, so you just try to give as many concepts as you can and see what happens.
Especially September 22nd. In hockey, in a lot of ways, it's a marathon and not a sprint. Truly
right.
is.
And so we're looking to to do damage at the end of the year. So all these games now are obviously very important, but we have focus on our process, but focus towards the end of the year and the results then.
Coach, appreciate the time. I'll let you get to work. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Penn State head coach Jeff Campersall with us here as we take a look at the action live on the ice. Alyssa Machado getting ready for her junior season. The forward doubled her scoring stats from her freshman year. Last year, 6 goals, 11 points. She's a key part of the Penn State offense and that depth heading into this 2022-2023 campaign as she gets ready to take the ice tonight. Well, there's one of the new faces, Tessa Janicki for Penn State. The freshman center is going to center the second line on the line chart. She is a key member of the team this year. She was picked in the preseason to be the CHA Freshman of the Year. She played with Kiara Zanin, one of the top scorers returning for Penn State on Team USA. For the 2022 Collegiate Select Team, Tessa Janicki making her Penn State debut tonight, and she will skate as a part of the second line with Courtney Correa and Caitlin Roberts. So that's Tessa Janicki, the freshman out of Orangeville, Illinois. It's a Penn State team, as Coach Campersall just talked about, with the depth, so excited to play in front of the best student section in college hockey. The Roar Zone right there. The top line for Penn State, Kiara Zanin. Everyone can't wait to see what she does in another season. And there's some of the captains for Penn State. Talk about that great leadership. How about on D, just a sophomore, Carly Garcia goes into her second season after an all-rookie team selection last year in the CHA. Garcia with 2 goals and 8 assists. She'll play on the top pairing tonight with Lindy Lobdell, trying to slow down that talented Wisconsin offense. Let's take a look at the lineups for tonight's game. Here is the Penn State line chart. You see the forwards, Makai, Zanin, Waleen on line 1, Janicki just aforementioned on line 2, with Correa, the transfer, coming in and joining the Penn State team. In fact, Correa and Makai both transfers and seniors, adding a little more depth to that offensive attack. Maya Vaslett, who we heard from moments ago, on line number 3 with Julie Goff and Alyssa Machado. Penn State deep, Maeve Connolly centering that fourth line. The defensive pairings of Lindy Lobdell and Carly Garcia, Buttsy and Heminger, Gangarosa and Uline, and as we just saw, Josie Bothan getting ready. She will be between the pipes tonight for Penn State. This is just the first of 2 here this weekend as we take a look at Penn State's schedule. There is that difficult slate we talked about with Coach Campersall. Tonight at 7, tomorrow at 7 as well. If you're coming to town for football, get here to Pegula Ice Arena. It's the 800 strong night, and for students, it's a chicken basket giveaway. Penn State then will play Minnesota Duluth, the defending national runner-ups, in a neutral site contest at St. Lawrence. Next weekend, Colgate, Boston College, Mercyhurst, Yale, which was in the Frozen Four in this building last year, on the schedule in November. Minnesota, it is a challenging slate before Penn State gets in to the CHA. Penn State favored to win the CHA this year, voted in first place by the other 4 coaches in the league. So that is a look at the Penn State schedule for this 2022-2023 season. The Nittany Lions are returning 3 of their top 4 scorers and 70% of their points from last season. This is the first ever trip to Hockey Valley for the Wisconsin Badgers. The 2 teams met way back in 2019 at LeBon, the beautiful home of Wisconsin, on their home ice up in Madison. There's one of the veterans on D, Izzy Heminger, who we were talking about just moments ago. And look at the great accomplishments for Izzy Heminger as she gets ready to take the ice tonight. Between the pipes, Penn State getting set to go here on this opening night from Pegula Ice Arena. Well, it's not only a busy night here at Pegula Ice Arena as we get ready for opening night, it's a busy night across campus as you take one look there from high above. And there is Madison Miller. She's at Jeffrey Field right now, braving the elements, it looks like. Madison, I know, a great home opener for Penn State women's soccer tonight as well. That game got underway just a little bit ago. Can you give us the latest update?
Yeah, so it is raining on me right now. There's 15 minutes left in the half, and Penn State is up 1-0 against number 4 Rutgers. Penn State's top scorer, Allie Schugel, scored the first goal for Penn State. Now, this is a huge game, so I really hope the rain stops soon, because Penn State and Rutgers were both voted to win first place in the Big Ten championship.
Maddie, I wasn't sure if you were doing a report on the soccer game or a hit for the Weather Channel there. Is it going to get any nicer tonight?
I hope so, but I think it's going to rain all night long.
Madison, thanks so much. Well, she's there braving the elements. Same for Zach Gershman, who's out at Nittanyville right now, trying to brave the elements as well. Zach, it looks like you got a crowd there, and it doesn't seem like the weather is slowing down those Penn State football fans as their tents go up for the weekend.
Even though we're all braving the elements out here, I got 2 questions for you guys. How excited are we for Penn State women's hockey? Penn State and Central Michigan coming up. It's the Thon game. We're honoring the 1982 football team, and we're also going to be having here at Nittanyville the tent community for Penn State, the diehard, most passionate fans in all of college football. They'll be bringing some pizzas. It's the Thon game as well. There'll be Thon representatives coming in.
Oh, man, that is a great, great scene right there, Zach. An incredible scene outside Gate A at Beaver State. And the Penn State football team, as Zach said, welcoming Central Michigan coming up on Saturday at noon at Beaver Stadium. Just the second home game of the year after the big win to start the year at Purdue, and then the lopsided win against Auburn on the road down in SEC country on the Plains last weekend. Zach, you said it's a great weekend coming up at Beaver Stadium. Obviously, with the matchup, it's the Thon game, and Nittanyville is ready to go. How do they protect those tents in the rain? That's my one question.
So the tents there, well, when it comes to the weather, obviously student safety is number one. That's always a priority. But when it's windy, when it's whatever, these guys, these girls, everybody braves the elements here. They try to secure the tents as best as possible. Obviously, all things considered, but they're set up right now, and it's looking pretty good and pretty sturdy. So we'll see. Hopefully, this weather holds up a little bit.
No doubt about that. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate the live look-ins from both Zach Gershman, a part of our talent team, and Madison Miller out at Jeffrey Field for Penn State soccer taking on Rutgers tonight as we're back inside Pegula Ice Arena, getting closer and closer to face-off as the Nittany Lions and Badgers begin a new season here in late September. And I'm joined now by Christina Jeffries. She likes to go by KJ. She got the team ready down in the weight room prior to this. KJ, thanks so much for the time tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brian. Really appreciate you.
All right, so what was it like getting the team ready? What are some of the things you focus on leading up to puck drop?
Oh, man. It's a show. You know, the girls are ready. Like, we've prepared since April for this moment, and you know, I think the team is just ready to get out there on the ice. They're excited to be here in Pegula Ice Arena, this amazing facility, and we're just ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I know that's certainly the case, but take us behind the scenes. What is it like the 30 minutes, 45 minutes before the team takes the ice? I know that's when you're dealing with the student athletes in the gym to make sure their bodies are right.
Right, yeah. I actually just changed because I was dripping sweat, stretching everybody out, so you're welcome. Just getting them stretched out, ready to roll. Everyone's pregame ritual is a little bit different. So some kids like to stretch, some kids like to focus, some kids like to toss a football around, get nice and loose, but really just kind of focus now on once they leave my room, they're ready to focus on Wisconsin.
Anyone that could compete with Sean Clifford or Drew Aller down there in the weight room throwing the football?
Oh gosh. I'm going to go with Roberts, who's one of our freshmen. I think she might have almost taken out one of my TVs, but I'll fix that later.
I've heard a lot of athletes on the team discuss the strides that they made throughout the course of the offseason. Where do you feel like this team has improved during the offseason? What are the things they focus on before Coach gets them out on the ice?
Yeah, I really think we've come a long way this offseason from a team chemistry standpoint. They've obviously gotten more physically developed over the years, in this particular offseason. But really, from a culture standpoint, it's been focused on the things that we value, our core values, being positive, being a great teammate, being gritty, which is one of my favorites. And just making sure that that's in the forefront of our minds every single time we step into the gym, we step into the classroom, we're on the ice, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, and we've got to embody it.
I've been down there. It's an impressive facility. What resources are available, not just in the weight room, but with all the latest technology that these athletes get to use as they're getting ready 21 minutes till face-off tonight to use on a daily basis? Yeah,
it's an amazing facility. We're so thankful and grateful to have it. Some of the things that we use are Team Builder for all of our workout. That is a system that logs all of our workouts. Maxes, bar velocity speeds. We have gym aware units that track bar speeds, and we kind of use those twofold to help prepare speed and power athletes, but also to make sure during the season that we are taking care of the things we need to take care of, managing fatigue, and getting them prepared for our puck drops on Friday and Saturday nights.
You've been at Penn State since 2014. You've had an opportunity to work with so many of our great programs here. What impresses you about the personality, the work ethic, the culture, all the things that those Penn State student athletes are known for?
Yeah, it's a blue-collar work ethic here, and that's something I was brought up with. So I fit in really well here, and I really enjoy working with these athletes and working with these coaches. We have some amazing coaches, and 2 within this building and a couple more just down the street. I think they're getting ready for a game too. So I'm just grateful for that, and and just how hard they work, and the culture that every student athlete brings is the same, and that's what makes it special.
All right, so what do you do during the game besides snack?
Ooh, snacks, coffee. I actually had a little bit of pre-workout when I was down there.
So you're not nervous for the show, you're just jittery because you just
I'm just jittery, yeah. I told the kids, I'm like, I'm taking pre-workout, I'm gonna go do this interview, and then I'm gonna start shaking in the stands because I'm so excited.
KJ, thanks so much. Enjoy the game tonight. Can't wait to see all that hard work they put in with you pay off on the ice.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Christina Jeffries joining us here. There's a look at the ice and our matchup tonight, Penn State and Wisconsin at 7 o'clock coming up on Big Ten Plus. The Nittany Lions ranked 14th in the country to start the year. Wisconsin third. Penn State, the preseason favorites in the CHA. Wisconsin picked third, hitting that ever tough WCHA behind defending league champion Minnesota and defending national champion Ohio State. So it should be a great matchup on the ice tonight, and we appreciate you joining us here on our first ever live pregame show from Pegula Ice Arena. We've been across campus. It's been a busy week. We had the Unrivaled weekly preview at the Lash Building last night for Penn State football. We'll have the Unrivaled post-game show coming up after the football game on Saturday. But here tonight, the focus on women's hockey as they begin the 2022-2023 season. And the game tonight broadcast on Big Ten Plus. The man on the play-by-play tonight is Evan Papalis. And Evan, you'll have the call of this great matchup. What are you looking forward to most to see Penn State and Wisconsin drop the puck for the first time this year?
I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup tonight, Brian. What we're looking forward to the most is how can Penn State start this season against number 3 ranked Wisconsin. The first 3 games for Penn State are going to be against ranked opponents, 2 against the Badgers here at Pegula Ice Arena. Then they're going to go up to Canton to play the University of Minnesota. Duluth is ranked 5th right now coming into this season. But for the Nittany Lions tonight, the goaltending, they don't have a lot of experience for the Badgers, so that's something that they want to try to exploit early on in this contest and throughout the night, with Cami Kronish getting the start for Wisconsin. And also center depth in the bottom 6 for the Badgers. They only have 6 games combined of experience so far in their collegiate careers, so the Nittany Lions are going to want to attack that part of the ice of the Badgers.
And Penn State certainly has center depth with Kiara Zanin and Tessa Janicki. We can't wait to see Janicki make her debut, but I know you're really excited about the Penn State back end. A lot of experience back there for Jeff Campersall.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 5 returning starters there on the defensive side for Penn State. Renee Gangarosa, Izzy Heminger, Mallory Uline, Carly Garcia, whoever you want to name it out there on the ice tonight. Only one fresh face out there in Kendall Butsy on that second line paired with Izzy Heminger. So there's a lot to like. Lindy Lobdell also got to toss her in there as well. So there's so much experience there on the back end, and I think they're going to be relied on a lot tonight because the Badgers, let's face it, they're a really good team. They're going to have their offensive chances. These are some of the best ladies in all of collegiate hockey, so they're going to get their chances. Can Penn State be stout early on and get those stops and maybe get some chances going the opposite way, maybe a couple of odd woman rushes to get in their favor, and that's how you can maybe get their first goal against Wisconsin. They've yet to score against the Badgers.
And it's tough to do against a Wisconsin team, especially with Caroline Harvey now on the back end, who played with our first guest tonight, Kendall Coyne-Schofield, with the U.S. Olympic team. It's a Wisconsin team. Every year they're one of the favorites to win. No doubt that's the case again this year for Wisconsin.
Yeah, absolutely. They have so many good players coming back, and one that you want to touch on right at the top is alternate captain Casey O'Brien centering that top line. NCAA best 9 game-winning goals last season for the Cardinal and White. So this is a lady that knows how to score, put the puck in the back of the net, and the Nittany Lions defense, they're going to be ready for that all night long. But for Wisconsin, it's just stick to your DNA. Any combination that Mark Johnson has rolled out, it has worked. He's the winningest head coach in all of NCAA women's hockey history. .821 win percentage for the Badgers in his career heading into his 20th season. He's been oh so good as the bench boss of this team, and I'm not expecting anything different tonight. They're going to bring their best.
Well, we just heard about some of the pregame routines for the team. Do you and Matt Scalzo, your broadcast buddy tonight, have any pregame routines for this?
Not really. I don't think so. We're just doing the mic check with Big Ten Plus and just kind of going back and forth. Before we came over from the apartment earlier, we're actually roommates, so just talking things over before we made our way over, a couple of notes, and just really impressed with the resume of this Wisconsin team, but really excited to see for the CHA team in Penn State how they can rebound from last year. Once again, third year in a row, they're picked to finish first in the conference. They might run into some hiccups, though, with Syracuse and Mercyhurst in their way. Those have been the two top dogs in the past, so going to be fascinating to see how those three come together this season.
Penn State won the regular season in 2021, still looking for that first ever NCAA tournament berth. And of course, in this beautiful building here is where the Women's Frozen Four took place last year. Won by, I don't think we can say it on this pregame show. Evan, looking forward to the call tonight on Big Ten Plus. Thanks so much, and we'll let you get to work.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Evan with us here. He'll be on the call tonight, Penn State and Wisconsin, as you can see, coming up at 7 p.m. here from Pegula Ice Arena on Big Ten Plus. It's a busy weekend here in Happy Valley, and it all begins tonight here in Hockey Valley with the Nittany Lions and the Badgers. So Penn State and Wisconsin, a pair of top 15 teams coming up on Big Ten Plus. Appreciate everyone for tuning into our live pregame show tonight from the great perch we have here above Pegula Ice Arena. Face-Off is coming your way on Big Ten Plus in just moments. Hope you can join us for the broadcast, and we appreciate you tuning in tonight to the Penn State Women's Hockey pregame show. For our entire crew, I'm Brian Tripp, saying so long for now from Pegula Ice Arena.
Sweet spot, I'm feeling good. The sun is shining, I knew it would. The world's a playground, I'm in the clouds. Let me show you what it's all about.